Good morning, fans, and likewise, and otherwise, and streetwise, and these guys who don't know what's going on. Well, it's rather simple. I'm going to watch Scooby-Doo. You're going to hear my voice, description needed, and I'm going to talk about Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Now, I've seen this show several thousand times in my day, but I've never actually talked that much about it on my channel, despite being one of the leading experts on the field, in the field, on the subject in my field. I've never had to talk about anything as if I had any sort of, authority before. But I technically do with Scooby Doo. So, here we are. Welcome. You're going to get the nice visualizer, which I found online for free. I'm not going to advertise it because, fuck it. Who wants that? So anyhow, the rules are simple. You're not going to hear anything I hear. The only thing you're going to get is your own copy of the show. So my copy is 22 minutes long and it has the intro. I'm going to try and do a little, clap, but I won't be able to because I'll have to hit play. So I'll just do a snap, or I'll just go now, or on the invisible zero. And you'll see the counter on the bottom just in case you fucked up. So anyhow, we're watching episode 1, What a Night for a Night, the pilot episode of Scooby-Doo. And mine will have the intro. So without further ado, recline. You know what? I failed to do the clap. I will restart. Alright, we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1. I think it delayed a bit. That's fine. In beautiful 4:3 aspect ratio, all the way out of Hanna-Barbera, California, it's Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? A lovely show with a nice, catchy theme tune. It is not high art, I would say. It's cheap entertainment on a budget. It's a B movie, if I've ever seen one. And I just saw one today. It was called, what was it called? It was called Battle Truck, I believe. And I have no intention of talking about that film because there's not much to say. Anyhow, Scooby-Doo is just a rogues gallery. Well, the intro at least. They're showing all their nice villains that they concocted for this mess. I don't know why it needs to. Oh, yeah, and these first ones, they didn't have this music for the title card. They added that after the fact. You might see that in Clue for Scooby-Doo later. Anyhow, here we are. Nice scene. Well, we're going to go over the Scooby-Doo structure, because this one has a pretty good example. Every Scooby-Doo episode starts off with what I call the chiller, where you have to give the audience a bit of the tone, give the monster a bit of glory, set the stakes, set the scene. And now we're on the gang life segment, in which we first see the gang and whatever they're doing for the day, and how they are going to end up meeting the villain or the mystery. In this situation, Scooby and Shaggy are walking down this random road after the movies. Where are they going? Here they are scared of a frog, demonstrating how they're in fact scaredy cats. Giving us a nice little comic reprieve, because we just saw the Black Knight. We immediately assumed, I suppose they wanted us to assume, that the Black Knight was some sort of bush-lurking creature, but he's much too tall for that, I think. Anyhow, they chase this frog. Oh, and what do you know? Oh yes, that introduces one of my favorite parts of the Scooby-Doo universe. How every floor is covered in grease. A deserted type pickup truck. You wonder if that's the model too. And now we have the inciting incident. Key part in any story, Scooby and Shaggy uncover the Black Knight sitting in a truck. Driver nowhere to be seen. Shaggy was supposed to be saying something there, I think. Or they just reused the animation. Which is the other main theme of Scooby-Doo. Don't look at the camera, Velma. That was a flub. Should have been in the fucking bloopers. They try to haunt. They try to make London seem like it's the most haunted place on Earth. England really doesn't have much to do here. They only like half wrote those letters. They only like half animated Velma's mouth moving there. Certainly is a half-assed production. And now it is day. It has been an entire few hours since they uncovered the armor suit. But appearance and all, I wish you hadn't. Okay, the Black Knight. This is a very confusing villain in that they want us to believe that the Black Knight is an actual knight, like he's still alive or whatever. But I always thought it was just the armor or something, or someone was just dressed up in the armor, which is obviously the case. Ah, yes, the medieval room, right next to the Egyptian hallway, which is the opening. Oh, what? Look, that lion statue. Where did the? At what point would these glasses have even got here? I wonder. How many people are in this front seat right now? That's gotta be very uncomfortable. Don't look through them or anything. Let's go to the library. Don't want to get a contact high. I'm holding. Whoa! I believe this is what I dubbed the "let's investigate" moment. Is just after the exposition, which I missed, which was just Professor Wickles explaining the lore. But now they're actually investigating. And we're now on the segment which I call the first hurdle. In this case, the first hurdle is the first thing they got to deal with, which in this case is the back door being locked. Just a little thing to set the stakes a little higher. I don't. Now, of course, we can't possibly talk about this episode without discussing swoosing right in, which is important in the grand scheme of things. Now, swoosing may be a main part of everyone's vocabulary nowadays, but originally he's going to swoop right in. Fred's arm grew 3 inches that day. Necessary dialogue. I feel like you could have just put it on the roof of the mystery machine. Woos right in. Woo woo woos. You see, the original isn't that much more comical because he falls down so many flights of stairs. Also, in this episode, Shaggy was intended to be the leader, leaving the Fred the duty of a background character, I guess, because he's the swingingest gymnast in school. But he doesn't do shit. Oh, I like this scene. I think I called it the tension. Isn't a lot of them. Where you need some sort of build up. Because not everything has to be happening all the time. You need some sort of build up to be released later when you finally get scared. You can't just have jump scares for no reason, as they say. This builds an atmosphere of creeping dread. Who is he standing guard from or for? The night watchman who would surely arrest you? And that doesn't exist? I feel like museums usually have security guards, but not this one, because there's a Black Knight that's serving the same function. And also, there's shady shit going on. That was a nice transition there. Anyhow, this is a very pointless scene of Scooby-Doo pacing back and forth in front of the back door. They have all of their goofy, bouncy, spooky music on display here. God, that's gotta hurt. He's standing right on his ball sack. The point of this is just to show the audience that there's some jackass in that sarcophagus, but the characters weren't there to see that. I mean, they were there, but they didn't see it. He's just standing against a wall. He has no, like, dividers in front of him or anything. I think we're in the scary obstacle portion, right? What's the time stamp? Oh, we're already halfway through. Jesus Christ, the midpoint twist. Uh, no, wait, no, there's the intro. We're a half minute off. This is a very strange, structured episode where the characters don't run into the monster for half the episode, which happens sometimes, but I don't like it very much. The one I can always think of is Guess Who's Not Coming to Dinner, in which the ghost of who is it the ghost of episode? Captain Moody. The ghost of Captain Moody does not show up for 20 whole minutes, which is the length of this episode. Now this is just so Scooby can't say that the Black Knight is right behind them, which is very funny. Alright, he's alive. Midpoint revealed, even though we already knew. Why? What is she doing looking in that direction, standing still? That's so important. You know, the good thing about this as a pilot is it doesn't establish a lot of silly things that become recurring gags, like Velma's glasses. For allows her to do stupid bits with the villains. Why does she have Shaggy's medicine? Now she has her glasses back on. Good job, animators. I suppose that was to concatenate the scene. Or truncate it, I should say. That's from the intro. You always wondered why his mouth was bandaged shut in the intro. That's why. So the Venn diagram of people that haven't seen the first episode and the people that have seen the intro probably isn't that good. I never can come up with what happens in the third act of these. I mean, the second half of the second act. Because it's a lot of stuff that happens. None of it is very structured, I'll say. There's not a lot of recurring things until the the third act break, which is coming up soon. Usually the second act low point is happening in the second half of the second act, as it is in most media. Or Shaggy. At least he's not standing on his dick this time. Alright. Finally come up to Act 3. Wait, no. I keep forgetting, because I do these based on the time stamps without the intro, which I don't think I have intro for a lot of them. But anyhow. Paint. That wasn't lined up, just in. Of course, the red herring of this episode is the thing in that weird statue there, which is actually paid off in the end. A lot of the time, those like eyes in the photograph or paintings or anything that move don't pay off. Alright, now we're in the Act 3. As this is the villain scheme reveal. Slash the third act twist. In this case, it reveals that there's counterfeiting. Or not counterfeiting, a forgery. Explains what the hell the Black Knight is even for, because why is this fucking Black Knight alive? Well, I guess as far as we know at this point, since there is no more Scooby-Doo to go on, it could just be a real Black Knight. Oh, his fucking plumage is gone. Rip. Zoink. I feel myself... Oh, it's back. I feel I relate more to the singular Zoink than I do to Zoinks. Of course, we have a famous Scooby Bluff coming up, where they just do some ridiculous shit. And that somehow fools the monster. This one's fairly easy, obvious on how it fools them. They always just stand there, though. He punched that painting, but didn't get any painting on his hands. Suckers. Okay, so it chased Fred and Daphne and Velma down the hallway. But it's already on their tail. I do like how they don't get up to run. They just continue, but slightly faster. And we're finally at the climax. Not much of it is set up for this point, but it's welcome nonetheless. Ah, yes, the deprecated ventriloquism bit. God damn it, I just had to check that pot, it was outlined. Alright, and now this plane, which somehow has gas in it and somehow still works from what looks like a relatively modern biplane, so I'd assume it's around 20s or 30s era. Yeah, you couldn't just take off. But it does just have a tail dragger. It doesn't have a rear wheel, so that leads me to believe it's 30s. And there go the wings. Scooby has damaged a priceless plane. A piece of history. Here we are back in the spooky. How did he do that? They don't even have elevator controls on the back of that plane, I noticed. That's fun. Ow! They didn't even run into him. He's just by the side. He just knocked himself out. At no point in this do they ever uncover any clues to point who might be doing this. Swindler? Suppose. No one else has the authority to find him. Alright, now we reveal the red herring. Scooby-Doo, use that shoe that you got out of nowhere. They've never seen him before. It's him. Now we're in the wrap-up. To explain sort of what's going on here. Because we gotta explain shit for the kids out there in the peanut gallery. And here's a staple Scooby-Doo last joke where the Scooby-Doo just dresses up like the villain. Like, aha, he's back. But no, it's just Scooby-Doo in the fucking outfit. Get tricked, idiots. And that's it. Laugh out to credits. What a fine show. I don't like it as much as a lot of them, but it's a fine episode. And I'm not gonna watch the credits. Because I gotta set up the next episode. Happen to be Castle in the Castle. Alright, good. Alright, we're on to Hassle in the Castle. Episode 2. I actually don't know if it's episode 2. I have my order all fucked up in these. I just put it to whatever order I thought was. But this one is Hassle in the Castle. Notable for its very lazy villain design. Alright. 3, 2, 1. We have this opening music. And there he is, ladies and gents, kids and girls. The Phantom, who spots those idiots out on a boat in the fog. He did not even attempt to lift that into his mouth. He was just leaning forward. Eat it like a snake. And because we cut indoors, we can get around to animating a boat crash, which is nice. Budget-friendly boat crash. In an abandoned castle. That's a great place. What's making those noise? Is they come upon random shit a lot. Which happens to be essential. Standard Scooby getting hassled by animals. Bit. Well, this is an interesting one of how they animated this. The sand things are in the background and they just put Fred's face on top of it. Interesting. This establishes that Scooby can read, kind of. You know, if it weren't for him leaving that fucking message, kids probably wouldn't have even bothered investigating. Just been like, can't find any help. And then the police would have eventually showed up. He's outside? Of course, I made in my stupid edit of this episode, I put a bunch of desserts on the table. Where are they right now? Like, where did they decide to go boating from? Where is Vasquez Castle? Also, who built it? Yeah, just some fucking pirate guy built a castle. That's realistic. Stupid Daphne. Look at Shaggy's pose there. He was in combat mode for a second there. I'll never get tired of Velma carrying them. Well, I will, if they overdo it. But it's very silly. You'll notice the laugh track laughing at things that aren't necessarily that funny. Like women being abused. And Shaggy. Green hand. When else would he have a green hand? Very odd. They cut the music there, which is very strange. That skeleton head seems like a very fine chap to be around. And now we come to my favorite part of the episode, which is the part that doesn't make any sense and is never explained. With lettuce. Oh yes, for all you younger kids out there, mustard is a condiment. At least the axe falling kind of makes sense. Dead. I don't like the way Shaggy's beard is animated. Also, there's a lot of these fades that I don't know if they need. Or are they just a consequence of changing scenes? Allows them to change, Oh fuck, there he is. We are in Act 2, so of course the ghost shows up. I like how... I like their reaction to this. That guy's fucking fake. Get him. Even Shaggy and Scooby are like, yeah, let's get that asshole. Nobody would possibly believe this. And they all just dive through him. Most comical way possible. Then he walks through a fucking brick wall. Ah. Good job showing us that, animators. Hell don't show, as they say. Her sleeve was the wrong color there. Must. It must mean that. Nice conjecture, Velma. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't want any of those newfangled attic catacombs. Catacombs, as they might be called. That's a very large key for such a normal-sized door. Like, look how ridiculous that lock looks. It's not even that big of a latch. I feel like you could beat the door down with a key easier than you could unlock it. Or Scooby tries to get out of everything because he's a fucking coward. Oh, here we introduce. Wait, no. Did they introduce Scooby Snacks in the last episode? I don't remember. Yeah, I think they did. I don't really care for them that much as really anything. They're just a scene ender. One is. I feel like they just borrowed some bits from something else. Yep, that's what that whistle means. There's a skull in there. I like how the villain in this episode just took all his magic shit with him. Spoilers. You know what? I don't care about spoilers. It's Scooby-Doo. They don't even reveal any sort of suspects in this until the very end. When they reveal, oh my god, it's a magic guy. Watch out. Yep. Because it's a magic show, you see? Ah, the Phantom. Kind of looks like a dog now, though. Boy, they really didn't make that many frames of animation of him. I too pant with my mouth closed. I actually tried doing it. I couldn't. Wow. Big surprise. God damn it, my air conditioning is kicked on. Which means you can see it in the bottom there. Isn't that fun? This is the first of Fred's ridiculous traps, and it is fittingly ridiculous. What are the other four of them doing during this plan? Yeah, no one would ever chase a dog. I guess he didn't chase him earlier in the episode. I like how they used two made-up, fictionalized versions of old TV dogs, and then they just used real-ass John Wayne. What is the deal with you? Adam, yoo-hoo. A lot of wandering around in this episode. I too hang out behind a portrait of myself. What a ridiculous fucking plot. Of course, is aping the old Wild West showdown. I don't know how commonplace that is nowadays. Of course, westerns very recently died in this in the real world, right before this released. I often wonder what killed the western. I've theorized many things, like the Hays Code being lifted and gore and what other things and other themes being able to be shown in other forms and more freedom among filmmakers. And also just the time frame. Because when film first released, let's say the 20s, the Wild West is only, let's generously say, as recent as the 1880s. So that's basically the 80s to us. So we can make movies about the 80s pretty reliably now, but will we really care that much in 40 years? Oh, the Black Knight makes a cameo. That's probably the first time I've actually pointed that out in my life. And staple of the genre, the trap fails, but they catch him anyways. They're quick on their feet, at least. They just decided to investigate after their donut break. Ex-magician? What does that mean? He's still a magician. He's got his magic shit with him. Just because he's a ghost now, I guess that's the only way you could be an ex-magician, is if you actively, die. Wires is a very visible rope. He just untied himself. It'd be funny if everyone else was just tied up after he was done doing this, like he tied him up off screen. I thought he was an ex-magician, Velma. Get the facts straight. I think the fake out is interesting. Why would it be like 3 feet under the ground? Scooby seems to have exclusively trouble with small animals. I suppose the smaller the animals, they are more frequent. Anyhow, that's a fine episode. I'm not entirely floored by it, but it's alright. Alright, we're going to move on to episode 3, A Clue for Scooby-Doo. I got a new mic today, but I'm not using it right now because I don't have a fucking XLR converter. Just realized I got the colon in the title. That's fucking bullshit. Now, I think this next one is the strongest of the original three. And the reason they're the original three is they have the different title cards than the rest of the show because I think they were made first. I believe they had, well, they had a different uh jingle for the opening title card. That ba da ba ba. I think What a Night for a Night had it. Anyhow, we're going in 3, 2, 1. Well, they actually had, yeah, they added that jingle, that the actual jingle in after the fact. Some of my versions have the original one intact, but I don't remember which. This is a nice chiller. I always like this one, even though he's a bit too close to shore for my taste. There are no rocks in sight. I guess it could just be named for the area. That is a groovy party. Two fuckers randomly dancing on a beach. That is a fucking weird wave. Ow. Imagine hitting your hand on a metal fucking helmet. Especially when you weren't expecting it. Well, I guess it would have been kind of resisted by the water, but still, that's gotta fucking hurt. The sound of the ghostly diver is always stuck in my head. Nice reused pose there. Looks like a very uncomfortable position. His spine is bent at a 9-degree angle. Oh, there's some rocks. No. I like how he says no, and after he comes out. Shaggy, you ever better come out of the closet. Makes out with a man in fucking broad daylight. No! Very David Lynch. I often quote that line by Daphne. Well, let's go to the malt shop. Their acting's a bit uncanny here. First, now we're in the exposition scene. Mr. Shark. Bit on the name nose, but on the nose name, sorry. I have, how would you say, garbage of the brain. Oh, they actually show the outline of his head. Surprised he's not wearing the helmet in broad daylight. Or broad moonlight. I guess you don't technically know it's the helmet. I suppose showing him without the helmet is a bit of a smarter clue because then it leaves the option of Ebenezer Shark being a red herring. Because anyone could have been casting that shadow. But they do actually show the culprit's shadow in it, which is interesting. So obviously Ebenezer Shark is the red herring in this situation. I like how often they have to explain how things are glowing, and it's always phosphorescent paint. But in this case, the first case, it's something else, which they find out in a little bit. Something mighty spooky going on around Ebenezer Shark. Sorry, I had to stop there for a second to make sure you know I didn't laugh at Shaggy. Right! Then he gets scared as soon as he actually does it. Fucking creepy laugh. Excuse me? How can it be obvious? I forgot to put the, yeah, they used that foreground thing where they shouldn't have. Goody. I know these by heart, so I always get the fucking timing mixed. I swear I'm always a measure early. Widow Cutler is one of my favorite weird characters. Well, shit, I better start learning witchcraft. Then I could bring back a bunch of unruly ghosts. I suppose you don't know what a ghost is going to do until you bring it back. You could bring back, like, your dead great-grand-gruncle. And then he gets up and he's like, I'm going back to being dead. And then he just dies. It's a very inconvenient thing to have happen, because you spent all that effort trying to bring him back. And what, do you think he's grateful? Nah. Bastard. Fucker. Hate that guy. Weird shaggy face. Anyhow, yeah, it's the glow in this episode is caused by phosphorescent moss. Ooh. Quite strange. Where did he get those pillows? This show is unrealistic. Unsubscribe. Dislike. Stupid mouse. What a dick. When did Hanna-Barbera get such dick mice? Like 3 frames? I like this shrug. Very expressive. And frames they will never use again, so luck seeing that again. Unless it's in your waking nightmare. I like it. Forgot to get to the graveyard ships before. I've been corrupted by skooks. Oh yeah, because them seeing the bottle was absolutely pointless. Why is Velma the first one to suggest the most ridiculous haunted shit? He just wants to sound smart. It's like weirdo. That's the same ship they were piloting in Hassel in the Castle. I just Who keeps lending these kids a boat? They're just gonna crash it. They're gonna abandon it during this episode anyways. I'll be the last you see at the boat. You were asking for that. Oh, and a lot of the early music of this is stolen from other more dramatic and scary shows. So that's another reason why they are more ominous than the usual bouncy Scooby-Doo affair. I try to do a lot of episodes of this, but I can't do too many because I always get so tired when I'm streaming. I'm looking at a screen, yes, and I'm always talking, taking years of my life. This is a very creepy part, though. They just find the corpse, get locked in. Very scary situation. It's the same as being locked in a freezer, I suppose. But a long death is going to be drawn out, inevitable, and quite terrifying. Shaggy gets rid of this harpoon immediately, as it would be too good of a weapon. I believe this is the titular clue for Scooby-Doo, is the scuba tanks. Scooby, scuba, scuba. He's very hard to understand in these ones. It becomes much easier to understand when they start wanting him to deliver soliloquies about how Scrappy's war crimes have ruined the planet. They probably intended for that to actually fire, and then they remember they're supposed to be underwater. You know, kids these days, they don't understand the simple joys of carving naked ladies to put on the front of your ships. Hmm, spiritually, it's similar to a lot of things kids do. Look at the builds of these weirdos. That was a bit of a delay between finding the Scooby snack. 2 and 2 are 5. No, more than that. God, what a stupid joke. He sank half a foot. Instead of this, oh my god, it's Fred. Gotta love coloring mistakes. Thank you for that. A lot of tell don't show in this. I guess there's some you can't really communicate everything in visuals if you have a cheap budget. So you just sort of show them a picture and explain it. Show and tell. Yeah, just have the weakest, smallest, lightest person in the party hold the end of the hose. That'll end up well. Velma looks a lot like a Lego minifigure in this. I love that laugh. What the fuck is going on? Even Fred lets go. They don't even try to hold on to that. Shaggy, who is nowhere near the hose, is the one on the end of it. Villains don't really have a thing for self-preservation. I like how they don't even attempt to figure out who the villain is in these. I mean, they just think it's Ebenezer Shark the whole time. This is a fun reveal of how he's playing the part of his own ghost. Very pleasant surprise. They got in the fucking paper? Wow, that's gotta be like the second biggest thing to happen to you back in the day. That's like internet famous, but much worse. I don't understand how this works, but I believe the science is sound enough. Okay, it turned from a shake into a sort of soda, and those shakes are they all drink horribly pink drinks. All right, that's that episode. I like it. Oh boy, we're on the episode. I have mixed feelings. Of course, mind your own business, asshole. Oh, you can see me type. On we go. I have to go to the bathroom, so we're gonna take a little break. Get the episode lined up, kids and girls. Welcome back, me. Hopefully, I didn't fuck up the audio. Nope, it's fine. Uh, anyhow, most people when they do this sort of thing, they have a webcam on. And that's, I suppose, so you can see their reactions to various things that happen. But I'm not gonna have a webcam on for a few reasons. Number one, I'm ugly. Number two, my reactions aren't really that important. I just sort of want to relax on a chair, watch this silly show. Three, I'm not wearing many clothes. Four, I like to watch this in the dark. You think three and four contradict each other? They sort of do. I just might see my fucking giant dick, so you never know. Alright, mind your own business. Speaking of that, mind your own fucking business. People in TV. Don't get any ideas. Box Ghostbusters. Alright, up we go. Three, two, one. Oh, that's the classic fucking jingle. This one did not have the intro. So watch out. There's no Scooby Dooby Doo. I don't think the last couple have had one either. It was just the first one. So that's very strange. The chiller of this one's so fine, but it's not very provocative. It's just a guy walking around. Lightning at the same time as thunder, with no fucking rain clouds in the sky. Where are they trying to go, and why is their map so fucking zoomed in? They get like a county map? What do they do when there's no vacancy? Do they like hang the sign there on a little hook hidden behind the other sign? That'd be how I would do it, probably. I'm Big Ben, red herring for the night. Jesus Christ, he's tall. Some people like to say Shaggy is tall. He's more lithe. I believe he's the tallest mystery solver, but he's still under 6 feet tall. Because, I believe, the reason I suspected this is he's shorter than John Cena. He's about 5'11 or so. More Scooby-Doo and fucking small animals. We like to segregate nowadays. Nice lipstick, Velma. Yeah, I suppose all the monsters have a kayfabe motive. Why does the mine get to have a personality? Yeah, that's like 83 years too many for a miner. I don't think they actually spend any time in their rooms at the guest ranch. That that was a very lame sound effect for a window pane falling off. They they cut off the take there, I think. Walk around this ghost town. See what we can find. Like he had more to say. Nobody opened that fucking right one. I believe they can't even make real sarsaparilla anymore. They have to use artificial ingredients. This is the first time the miner interacts with the gang, but he doesn't really do much for a while. First time they actually interact, like, for example, when they first try to dive at the Phantom, or when the ghost of Captain Cutler comes out of the water and they run away, or Shaggy and Velma, Scooby are in that room with Black Knight. That's like the first time they interact. I wouldn't call that an interaction, what just happened with the thing with the spider webs. So I'm going to keep an eye out for when that happens. And also, if it's just one character, I wouldn't say counts. Gotta be two. Otherwise, it's not very impactful. I think I'm just making up rules so I'll be right. Which is perfectly valid in my rules, because I made them up. I don't understand how that tree branch hasn't knocked that window open already. It seems like it's growing inside the building. Are they implying they checked every other building in this entire town? Like here's the fake interaction. This is the mirror bit. I love the mirror bit, it's so silly. Why does he do this? Aside from the fact that he's a stupid dog. That's 7 minutes in. Oh yeah. I think I'm gonna stop after episode 5. I think that's enough. How can you tell from that fucking distance when it's on the other side of the paper? Velma's a fucking witch. The fuck kind of Burger King ass suggestion is that, Shaggy? Make note of the door frame surrounding, or the frame of that fucking safe, and the point of it. I think the combination is one of the most useless clues they come across. It is off the ground. I feel like Scooby wasn't supposed to open the door that far. Okay, so they have a fucking safe door that opens to an elevator. Why? I like to suggest things with my mouth closed. Scooby snacks take up so much script space. Imagine how many drawings of tits they could be showing on screen instead of Scooby snack scenes. Still hasn't interacted, he's just sort of in the background. And to be fair, him interacting is a bad thing because he's not very scary. He's just some guy. He has no intimidation factor. Oh my god, he just found dynamite. I want to say there's some weird technicality with dynamite. I don't remember what it is. TNT is not dynamite. Okay. Okay, so dynamite is typically the one you see in blasting purposes, mainly because it's too unstable to be used in warfare. TNT is the one they use in warfare. Okay, here we go. Uh, 12 minutes in. Yeah, that's pretty far in. If that were a 40-minute episode, it would have been about 25 minutes in, which is way too far in. Longer than any episode of the original show. What weird facial expressions they have when they weren't reusing them all the time. Alright, they finally ran into it, and then they just cut away. There's just still a stack of flour. What is the fucking Miner 49er baking cakes? They managed to run away. Usually Fred would grab him by the back of the shirt tail. Would they go that much faster? They might be heavier, I guess. Whoa, animators, you really want to animate that many barrel frames? Think of how many times they have to deal with barrels in their life. Ha! What? When did she find time to do that? She didn't hit anything, she just fell down. She's already back up. Wow. What a bitch. They cut out. They must have cut out some scenes from this and replaced them with scenes of nothing happening. Magnetic tape. No, it's not. It's getting the opposite of mysterious. climax and setup of this takes that long, really? Oh. I like how stupid the fucking miner is. Also, when did they concoct this contraption? They have a wireless, like, speaker? In the 60s? What if this took place in, like, the year 2347? And everything just is the 60s for some reason. They destroyed and rebuilt all of humanity within 300 years. The apocalypse. And it's just this. It's fuckers running around in costumes. And stilts. Because surprise, it was Hank! What if it was Big Ben? He's just wanted to be even bigger. Delicious oil. That's pretty safe. Yep, he got arrested for trespassing? Fraud? I guess piracy? Maybe? It's just cheap spooky land again. Cheap spooky land is illegal in this universe, as we all know. Unrelated apple tree final boss. I mean, final joke. Eh. Lousy episode. Not scary villain. Sort of whatever. Alright, we have to do the last episode of the night. Most racist episode of the night. Episode 5. Oop. Fixed it. Alright, let's get started. 3, 2, 1. I like the atmosphere of this opening part, how it's just sort of fall with the orange leaves everywhere. I don't know if this opening makes much sense though, because also it's not very chilling. It sort of cuts a lot of things. The structure is all fucked up. It's not scary in the opening, it's just sort of sad. Scooby, your dick would not even fit in that bitch. Don't even bother. Oh god damn it. The bush side dog nappings. The inciting incident has already happened. And now we're on gang life. It's at night. God, it took him a while to find this place. They just left him somewhere? What is their fucking problem? Flash! What a flair for the dramatic. Dick Dasters. Oh, I wonder if at the end of this they actually get the $500 as well as sending this idiot to jail. Got pen holders, dog picture. So that's what Scooby theoretically is, but he's more of a great fucking idiot. A great disappointment, maybe. What a this guy is such a petty bitch. You're a stupid bunch of dumbass bitches, babies. His name is literally Champion? Or is that just written on there? The fucking. What is the back of the mystery machine in this? Like a high tech nightmare. Got fucking wall computers. No. Also, this is the canonical explanation in the first episode where Shaggy eats a Scooby snack, therefore hooking him for life. Okay. Daphne doesn't look like she's doing anything in that. Yeah, at least Shaggy's wearing his flasher trench coat. Gets to do it so rarely nowadays. You're a decoy, not a dumbass. Yeah, the structure of this one's fucking weird. It's supposed it's more like a comedy setup because they do a bunch of gags in the opening and then they shift to horror later. Horror in quotes. Yuck. How do you even get a car to do this? At least they were using a rope as a dog leash. Rip Charlie. He never gets his scooter back. Ah, the back of the mystery machine is such a perplexing place. I like how they weren't even keeping an eye on them. Oh no, is right. Destroyed. There goes the motor scooter from the episode. Oh, those poor puppers. Rip Mike, henchman to the stars. Does he even get fucking arrested? Poor Scooby. Even Hank was scared. That relic just a coincidence? Because they can't have the projection. Let's plant some intercourse. At least they were on a hill, so this could work. Where the hell? I guess they were in the middle of nowhere. Not really by any roads, though. Awfully brave of Shaggy. Would say uncharacteristic, but it is his best friend. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this seems like an episode of something else. You know? It doesn't seem like a Scooby Doo plot. Dog nappers and shit like that. I wouldn't even know what it would be a plot of because I don't have any reference in my head because I never watched the Archies or anything. Like contemporaries of Scooby Doo, like the Hardy Boys. I have watched them after the uh, the Scooby Doo ripoffs, of course. I'm quite familiar with those, and I uh, detest them. Say, thank you, Scooby. This definitely won't be put on your tombstone. Oh, what they brought that? I guess they did. Yeah. Who shot that arrow? It wasn't the projection. He doesn't even have a bow and arrow. A lot of Western influence in this early shit. This is real, like in the movies, thank you. Things that don't have the laugh track are often the funniest. Where the fuck are they? They're apparently by the beach. I guess they must be in California. That's the only place I can think of that's close enough to rock, sand, beach. Rock me. Let's see. Oh god, yeah, they're way far into the episode. They haven't even run into the fucking witch doctor yet. There he is. 12 minutes, yeah. Back-to-back episodes, 12 minutes first interaction. If we don't count technicalities. Which I don't. It's just sort of like they don't really have many clues. They don't give a fuck about Scooby, despite this episode being about how they're trying to save him. They learn their lesson? No? Oh, hi, bats. First appearance of bats. The Batusi. Stupid ass bat. Does anything happen that would require Velma not needing glasses? Ugh. This episode is annoying. Try Ruby. And there's some funny stuff in it too. Unfortunately. It seems that way, that a lot of the terrible ones are just okay. They do a Velma bit. It was like less than a minute. It's not long. Scooby was wearing them. That's less than a sentence. It is a sentence. What the fuck even is this? They got totem poles. Pacific Northwest thing, I think. And they're in a Pueblo Indian village. And there she goes. And they have vanishing benches made of rock. And they have factory made arrows. Something tells me someone didn't do their research. Where did Velma go? Did she go in the secret bitch camp? Where the fuck did she go? What? Are you telling me they didn't have dog food too? Holy shit, they're doing a food bit all the way in fucking 16 minutes in. That's act goddamn 3. Quick. Oh, sure, Scooby. We'll undo the dog. Bitch around here. Fred. What? They were just all in the same location. Where'd fucking Shaggy go? Dog translator scene. My favorite part of any media. Oh, he was eating a sandwich and making one. Okay, that tracks. Eats it in one bite. What a fucking freak. That's gotta fucking hurt. Ouch. Where's the fucking henchman? The mook, the goon, the lackey, the chauffeur. Wow, laziest fucking thing. That was a big delay between unmasking and identity saying. Oh, you adorable son of a bitch. Yeah, it's a good cover. Yeah, very petty. I don't know how they figure movie projectors work, but they don't work like that. They have to sort of project onto something, like fog or something, you know? A screen. Or even a plate glass window probably would work. I know I said I'd stop after 5, but I feel like doing another one. While I'm still alive. Ready it up. Oof. This has been a lot of fun for me, at least. I don't know how many people get a lot of use out of this, but I like it. I might even listen to this myself just to see what I have to say on this subject. I don't know what I have to say about it. Ah, okay. What the heck is going on? In 3, 2, 1. Like there's a bit of a delay between DLC starting and me snapping slash hitting the button. Anyhow, we're in the building from the intro, the very start of the intro, which is the old Kingston man. Even a bat flies out. And this old fucker walks towards the house, telling him to come. Who could refuse such a situation? Damn. Fucking creepy ass forest. Who who is Sharon to them that she would just invite all fucking five of these losers to her house for the weekend? Jeepers. They take a time. Oh, I thought this is the one where they take a second to shrug. That's such a stupid thing. Why is the mystery machine all orange from a distance? Eve gasped way too early. Weed. Wow, they're already all the way up there. A lot of people here. Ah! He was already an old man. Let's not kid ourselves. I got nothing better going on. Let's watch the recap of things that already happened to save animation. This place walking distance from your house? I like how they don't show him and the ghost on screen at the same time. Die. Nick doesn't come back. Eh? Like the no selling. Stupid looking hat. Wake up, stupid. You know what? Same. I wouldn't bother keeping watch. Why do they have a fucking bugle and old sword on the wall? Are they fucking Civil War veterans? Probably family heirlooms. It is apparently 8 o'clock. Or 40 after midnight. A bit early, wouldn't you say? Let's investigate moment of this is Uncle Stewart disappearing. First turtle is finding the ghost, I think. God, those aren't connected to anything. Maybe. A lot of stuff from the intro in this episode. Let's not animate him walking out from behind the bookshelf. He'll just teleport out. I assure you they can. At least the water's hooked up in this old place. I think that's an old-fashioned icebox, so it wouldn't even have electricity. Unless they're just keeping a bone in the fridge. Randomly a dog here. Well, it's not random. Here for a purpose. Of course, it makes it a little goofy if they have an animal sidekick. Villains aren't really. If a villain isn't scary enough on its own without, like, a watchdog, like, really need to rethink things. Because the Ghost of Elias Kingston, all he's got going for him is the make you old ray that he has. Me too. Why did he point at the ceiling? Is he pointing at God? He's got a clever scheme, at least. I'll give that for the ghost. Turned and walked away. It's a real shame that there aren't very many good Scooby-Doo video games. I just thought about that when the ghost just walked away. Like, imagine if that happened in a game and we're like, woo! Alright, guys, I'm gonna go. Bye. Be quite, not very good. God, I love this joke. God, I hate that joke. Never mind. They didn't even blow away any of the dust. Unrealistic. That's right. And they wouldn't even be registered anyways, because they're dead. Don't be fucking stupid, Shaggy. Who ever heard of a ghost turning into a bat? Ghost bat? Not even good enough for Batman to make up after 40 fucking years of nonsense. I don't remember how long Batman's fucking 90 years at this point. Possibly only 80. I don't know. Shaggy is a slut. Case in point. A book about how to use a girl. Ah, disembodied goatee. I suppose most goatees are disembodied as a rule of thumb, but it was just in such a weird. And they're out. What? Oh yeah. What happened to the guy from the Weatherbeat estate? He just asleep? I wonder if these type of places are still around. They probably are. People are really stupid. So the businesses that thrive on that probably are still around. Wami. Doc. God. What a fucking comedian. Suckers. Only tell them what they want to hear. Oh, what a stupid joke. Ah, yes. Ghost power number 2, aside from old beam. Float table. I like how his powers extend to this place. I mean, I guess a flying table is kind of intimidating, because he wouldn't want to get hit by it. But, like, really? He does enjoy his work as a phantom. This one seems to be rather structured as well, which I enjoy. Because the Scooby-Doo structure is what gives it its appeal, not the Not the characters. No, I like the characters too. They're just sort of stereotypical. Just the batteries are taped on. I wonder if there's any asbestos in that makeup kit. From the 60s, after all. Wonder when they started cracking on down on that. How? How? Ooh? Eh? Uh, what a weird thing. This needs something. Or something else. These TV cameras are magical. Just remember that fucking magician from the earlier episode. I like how he always manages to sneak up on him. Ah, silly bastard. I too punch through fucking curtains into an anvil. This is the most relatable thing. Yeah, that would hurt that so. Yeah. What the fuck is that treadmill? That's not a threat, Mr. Phantom. We're not gonna show anything. Yeah, I suppose the reason the gang always has to capture these guys is if they called the police to capture them, they'd just shoot them dead. What justice? And sometimes they're not even the bad guy. Why is she surprised? She saw his wig fly off. Money, idiot. Lots and lots of money. And you're not exactly the most exciting relatives. Are they drinking grape soda out of wine glasses? Yes, I think they were. Alright, that's about 2 hours of content. All I do is sit back in an easy recliner and watch my favorite stupid show. Suppose I could watch Mystery Inc., but I don't think that's very interesting. I don't even think my insights were that insightful. I was just reacting, mainly. It's hard for me to put my observations into words sometimes. Sometimes, I mean every goddamn day of my life. I'm always so quiet, so I don't get that much time to practice communicating with. Oh well, I'm sure you fun people out there watching found their completely legal copies do as I have are having a lot of fun. So see you next time for episode 7. I say it's foul play. Nicer at the moment to see that. But I have to imagine it is that. Nope, it is never Ape and Ape Man. I always forget that episode because the Ape Man isn't the best villain. But it's a fine villain. Fine episode. I've But anyhow, see you next time. Goodbye.